Hey everyone, it is Andrew here from MAO Magic. Today we're going to take a look at the new second generation August Smart Lock. Now there are some minor changes to the knurling on the outside, a new little ring that goes around, a new mechanism for switching the front plate, but the real difference between the original first generation Smart Lock and this new second generation that has been much delayed is the addition of Apple's HomeKit. That means you can now use Siri to lock and unlock your door, as well as group it into scenes and other triggers. In this review, we're also going to compare it to the first generation and see what's actually been updated. But before we get there, let's go ahead and look at the new Smart Lock itself. At launch of this new second generation, they only have the silver model and the dark gray model in stock. I obviously have the dark gray model, though a red version and a copper version will be coming in the near future. Installation of the lock is dead simple, and it uses the same mechanism as the first generation. Inside you'll find a few different mounting plates based on the door and the padlock that you currently have, as well as a few different adapters that again depend on which kind of lock you have. So if you have a quick set versus a sleg, that's going to determine which of these adapters you're going to want to use, and you can see all the actual specifications for which one to use inside of that installation guide. On the back of the Getting Started guide will be your HomeKit code. That'll be printed on the inside of the front of your lock as well, right behind that front plate. It's there as well. We have some tape that'll assist in the installation and a few rubber stoppers to keep those plates from moving when mounted on your door. So I have here the first generation lock, this August Red. This is a first generation, so it's lacking that HomeKit support. So if we want to actually compare them side by side and check out the differences, the first thing that we're going to notice is that plate on the front. It's a little bit more shallow this time. Like, notice the previous generation was tapered on the edges, and more importantly, it was also kind of a pain to get on and off. You had to slightly twist it, and it was magnetic. The new version, you simply press on the August logo and it leans forward, and it's really easy to remove and really easy to stay on there. The old one would kind of have a tendency to fall off, but not on the new one. The knurling around the outside is also changed on the new August Smart Lock, and instead of that flat spot, it has now a kind of an outward facing rivet there, so you can more easily tell, I guess, whether your door is locked or not locked from a distance. Personally, I prefer the old way, but the new one, there's nothing wrong with it. There also seems to be tighter tolerances, but too. The old one, it kind of had a chance to wiggle a little bit, you can see that, but on this new one, everything is a lot tighter, and it seems like they've kind of put everything together a little bit better than they have on that first generation. Now again, there's nothing wrong with that first generation. You can still pick that one up, but they do seem to have tightened everything a little bit on this newer model. So here we have the mounting plate already installed. The August will fit over pretty much any standalone deadbolt. I'm going to go ahead and then use the correct adapter for my lock, which happens to be this green one here, and I'm going to open up these two little wings on the side. That's really all you have to do to put this on. Once that plate is mounted, you open up those wings and you just put it on there and close down the sides. Yes, the August does protrude a bit from your door, but I prefer the protrusion a little bit better than the giant plates that a lot of the other smart locks will have. The motor and all the internals are all going to be same as that first generation lock, so no changes there on how it actually will operate. When you set it up, it's still very easy to do. Simply download the August app, which you can use for the August itself, for the front-facing doorbell camera, or even that keypad that they have. Because we did feature that last generation lock, I still have a home set up in here, so I can choose the existing home that I have and name the door. And I'm also going to go ahead and set up Siri and HomeKit. So I currently already have a HomeKit home, so I can choose Andrew's home, which would be it. And I can choose a room to put this in. So that way if you say, lock the kitchen door, it'll know what you're talking about. You then need to add your HomeKit code. Apple has a really elegant way of adding your HomeKit codes. It simply turns on the camera and you can scan that little decal that's been printed. Otherwise, if it does not seem to scan properly, you can enter it manually, but I've never had a problem with it scanning. So right now you are good to go, nothing else is needed, but if you want to configure this a little bit more, we're going to jump into the settings. So first up we have auto lock. This is going to automatically relock your door every time you unlock it, so you don't ever have to worry about locking it again. There's also auto unlock, which using a geofence will automatically unlock your door as you arrive home. If you need to control your lock remotely, you can add that Wi-Fi adapter, so that's where that connect to Wi-Fi comes in. You do need the additional part, the August Connect, to make it work, but it does give you that remote access. So I've been using August since the original one launched a while ago, and I've tested it with pretty much most other smart locks on the market, and this has been by far my favorite. It looks great and it works great. It pretty much always unlocks as soon as I get home, and the addition of Siri is really nice. The biggest problem that I've had is the fact you need that $49 adapter, the August Connect, to access it remotely. Even using Siri, you can't do it remotely, which is kind of a big downside. You can, however, tie it into all of your other HomeKit settings, which is really great, and I really like being able to say goodnight and having my door just lock automatically for me. If you want, you can pick up the new 2nd generation August for $229 and the original for still $199. We will put the link for both of those as well as the August Connect down in the description below. If you have any questions, please go ahead and let us know, and until next time, this is Andrew for MAO Magic.